With the family, hanging out with the family, gonna have ourselves a party, and it's so. Oh my goodness.
That's not part of the list. Hey guys, and welcome to another video of Promotions. I'm Jerry, and this is Corey, and we have in this video a favorite songs, the 10 of our favorite songs. Not a top 10,
just a compilation.
10. Yeah. Because we have way too many songs to do a top 10 right now.
And me and Jerry were at breakfast, and I was talking to him about it, and I was like, I feel like my top songs switch around because it depends on what's going on in life to which music I gravitate to. But we found 10 that we feel very strongly about. So I think we have a lot of winners here. So
possibly.
Hopefully. I mean, yet again, we can give you guys songs to listen to later on. So we might possibly list them for you. I kind of wanted to actually add the audio clips to the video, but we don't know about the copyright.
We're going to play it safe this time until we get more knowledgeable on how exactly the copyright content works, because we're not only going to be using the one song, we're going to be using 20. So any of those 20 could try to get us a strike.
Where's the dough?
Which we don't have monetization, but that doesn't matter as long as it's somebody else's content and they feel like you're using it and they're not getting whatever they want for it, then they can do what they want.
However, you guys can totally look these songs up, because I'm pretty sure a lot of them are readily available on YouTube to listen to, and if anything, you can get a glimpse into our musical minds, because me and Jerry, we're different people, and not only that, we lived in different times despite us being around the same age. I'm 28 and he is 23, so we have different scenes of music that we gravitate to because of life experiences, but also we have things that we really have a strong bond with, like for instance certain artists we love. Like even today we're having discussions about different artists that we listen to, but at the same time, but we're in different areas. So that's the thing that's so awesome about music, is the fact that it doesn't matter who you are, your age. If a song is good, you'll agree with somebody that song is good. You guys can talk about it and be completely equals in that aspect. So I'm gonna go ahead and start my 10 list. So my first song that I consider very, very good, that I listen to a lot, is a band called
it's gonna be up here, by the way.
It's a band called the Jonestown Massacre, and the name of the song is Vacuum Boots. I love the song because it is the opener of their 1995 album Take It From the Man. And the thing that's crazy about this band, Jerry, is that this is the age of boy bands and and also really poppy music. But these guys were doing 1960s psychedelia during the 90s. So Anton Newcomb, he's the craziest motherfucker. He started fights and all of his, tours and shows. Him and the bandmates fought a lot, but he created so much important music. And the reason I love this track is because the lyrics are incredible, because it's a song about someone being better than you romantically, but you can't help to tell them that they're great. Don't change who you are. And the guitar is incredible. The drums are very groovy. It's a very dancey beat. And not only that, it's very happy. Like, it's just one of those songs where you feel like you could just vibe to it and just kind of like settle down in it. So that was my first song, Vacuum Boots. Very important record for me, because it's one of those things where I saw the movie Dig, and Dig, you can watch this on YouTube, by the way. It's called Dig with an exclamation point, and it's all about the Jonestown Massacre, Anton Newcomb's band, and the Dandy Warhols, and how Anton Newcomb, he started to go downward as the Dandy Warhol started to go upward. It's an incredible music documentary. Number 2 track on the list would have to be CC Set the Fire in Me by Tom Beck. Tom Beck is an incredible musician. How I found this musician was through Grand Theft Auto 4. He actually has a song on the soundtrack of Radio Broker. It's called One Horse Race, which I saw that song and I liked it a lot. But then I found CC Set the Fire in Me. The drum line is amazing, as well as the bass line, because he actually is a musician who loves using bass instead of guitar. Like, there'll be two bass guitars on the track. One is doing melody and one is doing the low end, which is amazing because not a lot of people do that. And not only that, the video is really cool for it as well. So I love that song a lot. I even got my guitarist from Cardinal Slinky, Rachel. She loves that song now, and she actually has it in her her repertoire as well.
Nice.
So number 3 is gotta be My Kind of Woman by Mac DeMarco. A lot of people slept on Mac DeMarco. Me and Jerry used to freestyle on his beat a lot because it is such a laid back and groovy feel to it.
Yes, it is.
And he's an incredible musician. He's on the crazy side, but at the same time, he's an incredible songwriter. The bass is on point, the guitar is on point, and the keyboard in the background is very melodic and just relaxed. It's the genre he calls it is just jazz, which is really ridiculous, but you can see why he calls it that, because it has a jazz feel to it. It's very laid back, groovy music, and it's an amazing love song. I actually made a mix CD for Amy, and that happened to be one of the tracks on it. So it's one of those ones that is like very romantic to me and like very close to my heart. So number 4, Hard to Explain, The Strokes. And I'm gonna take you guys back in time to when I was 14 years old.
Wait, was that the whole thing? Hard to explain the Strokes, or were you just saying hard to explain?
No, that's the name of the song, Hard
Okay.
to Explain. It's an incredible song because I was 14 and I used to listen to OutKast religiously. That was like the only artist I listened to ever. And I was on the bus, and my friend Andre, he's like, "Hey man, I actually was listening to this album, and the drum part sounds a lot like hip hop. So I think you should definitely check it out." I listened to that song, and I think later on that day, I asked him to borrow that CD, and I listened to it like 8 more times. And that was like the first time I realized, holy shit, rock and roll is amazing. Like, the drum beat is amazing. Not only that, the guitars are so pretty and accurate and precise. And there's a part where it's a 4-second break. Like, it stops and it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, like 4 seconds of silence, and then jumps back in immediately, which is such a cool technique. So I was like, yes, this is incredible. I think later on that week I went to Coconut's Music when it was open, and I got the CD and I listened to the fuck out of that album. Oh my gosh, Is This It is probably one of my top rock and roll albums. It is what converted me into a musician, which is why I play guitar and bass and drums and everything else, because of that album. It's so important to me. So number 5, speaking of OutKast, when I was younger, I had a Stankonia and I also had a Quimini, and one of my favorite tracks was SpottieOttieDopaliscious. And what I like about this track is that the horns are incredible. Andre 3000 and Big Boy have incredible storytelling throughout the entire thing. It's like, it is not even a song, it is a storybook set to groovy drums and an incredible horn section. You guys gotta check that out if you haven't heard of it. Quimini, a lot of people slept on it, but it is an incredible album. I actually like it just the same as Stankonia, so I'm 50-50 on each one. So then, the next song that I have on the list is the band Yes. Yes actually is an incredible band for me because Chris Squire, the bass player, is like my bass mentor. Like, his bass playing is melodic, chunky, like very melodic. I like to play bass very melodically. Because of him, I've actually became an incredible bass player. People tell me all the time, like, you don't play bass like anyone else. And it's because of this one song. It's called No Opportunity Necessary, No Experience Needed. It's actually a Ritchie Valens song that they covered. And the cover, in my opinion, is better than Ritchie Valens' version. Because Ritchie Valens, he's a acoustic guitar player. So he plays it acoustically, but they played it electronically, and it sounds incredible because it's so dynamic. So the next track I have on here is Radiohead, which me and Jerry had a conversation about it just a little while ago, but we chose different songs. So for me, I feel like Jigsaw Falling Into Place is my favorite song because the acoustic guitar is incredible. Like, the intro is acoustic guitar and the hi-hat, that's, and The lyrics are really, what's the word I'm looking for? They're really expressive and full of emotion, and the whole song is very full of emotion. It's kind of like a song about failed relationships, but at the same time, it has that groove to it, to the point where you feel like you could actually dance to the sadness. So the next song on the list is Kool A.D. Moneyball. Kool A.D. is a really interesting rapper to me because he uses a lot of unique phrases and references, which is why when I rap I use references that people don't get, and he's kind of the same way. It's like you have to be part of the in crowd or be on the joke, in the joke, to know what he's saying. But this song is so good because the beat is crazy, and not only that, he has lyrics that make a lot of sense to me. Like, I think there's this one line, it's like food used to be free when I was on the trees and stuff. And that's a good point. Like, oncology used to be, oncology books are printed on trees. Or no, they use trees to print oncology books. So it's funny that people chop down trees to make books about trees. Yeah, so just messages like that make you contradict the way society does things. I love songs like that. And the next one has to be Two Don'ts by the Koreatown Oddity. I randomly ran into the Koreatown Oddity. He's a rapper who wears a wolf mask when he performs. And he is incredible because he is not one of these rappers that are like bitches, hoes, like money, drugs. He is all about self-awareness and knowledge.
And you can understand what the hell he's saying.
Absolutely. Like, yeah, he is incredibly precise when it comes to speaking, and his flow is different. But he had this one album called No Health Insurance, which is basically about how from age 13 to like 30, he didn't have to go to a doctor or a dentist at all. And he said he doesn't have any health insurance, but this one song on this album that was completely recorded on cassette, by the way, you can only find it on YouTube. Like, I don't know if they have it on vinyl or CD. I would throw money at a person who had it. But Two Don'ts. Yeah, you let me know. But Two Don'ts is named the song, and it's a very inspirational song because it's like, don't let nobody tell you what you want to do. Don't let nobody tell you what you want to be. And then like the hook is like, I'm feeling super duper totally ill. And it's about like being the best you can be and not letting haters tell you what to do because you are on your own path. So it's one of those songs that I feel like stokes up the fire in me to keep going as a human being. And lastly, this track is actually really cool. I like the sound of it. It's the Snake and Jet's Amazing Bullit Band, and the name of the song is Stalker. And I like the song a lot because it has an incredible guitar part. The bass is amazing, the drums are perfect, and it has that 60s feel to it, even though it was made like maybe a few years ago. So the song has this break, has an incredible guitar solo, and not only that, the hook of the song is very catchy. So I feel like that song is a gem, a hidden gem that people do not know about, and I will listen to that song over and over and over again. Alright, so that's my 10, and now it's time for Jerry's 10.
I should warn you guys, I don't know. Pretty much most of the songs Corey mentioned here.
He's going to probably look him up later. He might be pleasantly surprised, or he might
definitely. I'm definitely a looker. I like to discover new artists. Somebody introduced me to Chet Faker, which I really liked. It's not bad, but which then I found out about more of Kaleo, and then I found out about a few other people. But my main thing is these days I like to find regular, YouTube artists or people who aren't signed, because I feel like people who've been signed, they kind of get corrupted.
Absolutely. Like their message gets muddied up by the corporate agenda.
Yeah, so I try to find original artists who work on for themselves, with themselves, and against no one.
Which I'm totally living that independent life right now as an artist.
But all in all, I have a pretty basic list when it comes to my choices for music. The only thing is I do have some Japanese songs on here. Only because, like I said in the intro video, I'm an anime nerd. I love Japan. I really want to learn about its culture and history. I'm actually using Duolingo. I don't know if that's the best, but I'm using it to learn a little bit. Right, I'm just for the basics. But also, before I start, I just want to let you guys know any weird cuts you see is because, again, people are up and getting ready for work. We get off at 6 in the morning, so it's hard to get around, but we're gonna do the best we can. So
whatever. We got plenty of coffees now.
Oh yeah, you can see me sipping on it throughout the whole time. But you know, any weird cuts you see, that's most likely the reason we have to pause so that somebody can walk by or go to work or something. But without further ado, let me try and read my pencil in the lights. So for the first one, I have Bring Me the Horizon, the song Throne. And now the reason I picked this one is just because the way that it was sung and the way it was played, it really caught my attention. It wasn't because it had an amazing guitar solo or it wasn't just the lyrics alone. It's just the whole thing all in all. You know, it was all blended together really well, and the whole rhythm of the song was pretty good, and I liked it. And
yet again, I'm probably gonna be looking at these songs too later on. So.
Right, even though he's heard of most of the English stuff that I have, the American music that I have. I don't even know what American.
Yet again, I mean, this cultural world music is great. Like for instance, I love Brazilian music sometimes. Like Sue George is an incredible artist to me. But anyway, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, you're good. Now this next one, the next 1, 2, 3, 4. The next 4, and there's 5 Japanese songs, so basically it's 50-50 Japanese and English. But this next one is called, and I'll put them in the description, the name, and then you could look, I'll put the name and the song so you can look them up.
And he might put the titles up here, possibly.
Possibly. A lot of them, I don't know if I will, just because I'll also have them in the description to be easier, so you don't have to wait through the video. But without further ado, let us continue. My number 2 is a band called Wagakki Band, which if you search it, it will come up in Japanese hiragana, which is the little symbols, what we call them, little symbols. But the song is called Senbonzakura, which the reason I like the song is because they use a mixture of traditional instruments along with electric instruments. So there's an electric guitarist, and I think there's a pianist, but as well as the person playing like the little string.
Oh yeah, that's Shoshana. And then Shoshana. But they sound cool.
But it's a mixture of classic. There's a dude in the band who plays the damn. I don't want to call it a piccolo, but basically it's like a piccolo,
like a recorder.
And dude, he goes in, bro. He goes in. This song, the Senbonzakura, the song. It's amazing. It's very high in energy too. So even though you don't understand, which I don't understand it either, because they sing fast.
The emotion is there, and the songwriting is there. So
it's so energetic, and it gives you like I said, they got the classic instruments, and the woman that sings, she wears traditional clothing. And it's just good. It's good to listen to, even though you can't understand. It'll make you feel better. It's just something about it just makes you feel like, it's good. You know what I'm saying?
There's a lot of dope Japanese rock music, man. People are sleeping on J-Rock, dude.
Oh yeah,
especially Americans.
For example, this one actually is very widely known. Baby metal.
Oh yeah, dude. And not only that, dude. Let me make a quick mention. Flipping White Zombie. He loves baby metal. He played with them one time. He actually posted on his Facebook page. He was like, "These girls are the shit. Like, they're it. Like, this is metal. This is metal to max."
Yeah. See, what it is the metal band. The metal part of them is, I believe,
the instrumentalists. Yeah, the instrumentalists are really dope.
They're actually they're a metal band from, I want to say, like England.
Either that or somewhere Scandinavia.
No, not.
Nah, that's okay. Sorry,
but they're from they're from somewhere
in the West,
right? And and baby metal. They just got there's a school that these girls went to. There's two 14-year-olds and a 16-year-old. The two 14-year-olds went to a school, and the 16-year-old went to a school which those schools, the group of girls that they were in, have a band as well. So it's a school that basically prepares, you know, the kids that attend to become, you know, stars and whatnot, and do songs. And so they took
like
them,
art school.
Right, they took them, and basically you're going to see them do this, which is the Wolf God, basically is what they believe in. Well, the band, the heavy metal part of it. So they were mixed with J-pop and heavy metal, which is why they call it baby metal, and it's because they're young. So once they get...
It's like a Reese's Cup of Music. Chocolate and the peanut butter.
Sad part is when they all hit a certain age, they're disbanding the group because they're going to be too old, and then most likely the girls will go on to do different things. But the song, I believe, I didn't write it down, but I believe it's called Ijime Dame Zettai.
This is the one that goes da 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 da.
There's also one called Megitsune, which is also really heavy. Like the two I just mentioned are pretty heavy, but they have a lot of. There's Doki Doki Morning, which that was like poppy, but then heavy, and then there's like this funny little rap part in it. That's not even like rap. They just like do it. Yeah, pretty much.
It's pretty dope.
And then it goes back to heavy, and just go in, and then there's Give Me Chocolate, which that one starts so hard. But it's a good band. They're very high in energy as well.
Yeah, if you haven't listened to baby metal, like, what the fuck are you doing, man? Like, do some more research, please. Anyway.
America's not the only one with music. But speaking of which, I'm sure everybody knows Linkin Park. Basically what Linkin Park tried to do is go universal. So there's actually a Japanese band called One OK Rock, which is kind of like the Japanese version of Linkin Park. But the guy, Taka, he actually can speak English fairly well, and he recently did a cover of Adele's Hello, which he got a lot of trash for because they're like, what are you doing? You're a rock artist. Why are you singing Adele? And I really liked it. He's good. Like, he could hit those high notes, and he actually did really good.
Man, I've seen some shitty covers, man. The thing about it is, as long as you're able to do it in your own way, what does it matter?
Right, exactly. Yeah. But the song The Beginning is what it's called. One OK Rock. The Beginning. That's all you need. And then you're just going to go from there. I don't even have to explain. I don't really have to. The video they have with it, awesome. But then they have Clock Strikes, awesome. Then they have a bunch of other songs, awesome. So The Beginning, start there because it's the beginning of your addiction to this band.
Definitely looking at or not.
Now, Supercell. I love this band. But I'm a little upset because I found this band on YouTube, and the song is called The Bravery, which it did this cool for the music video. It was like they had little clay puppets. Like it was clay, and then those puppets, and then they made like a little thing. Like there was a princess. She got taken by monsters, so the dude was going in there trying to fight the monster to save her, but he was getting beat. And I'm guessing that's what the song is about. But the song itself is in Japanese, but you can just like the way it's sung. The vocalist is amazing. And you know they're rock, but it's not like it's not heavy. It's like it's kind of more like a softer rock, but it's not super soft. But they have another. I was gonna do Sayonara Memory, which that one is softer because it was a different singer. Like they have two singers, and both of them just have a good audience behind them. So I mean, The Bravery is a good song. I don't know if maybe you could find it outside of YouTube. That's the only place that I've looked for it. Maybe Daily Motion or something like that. But definitely if you could find Supercell, you might have to type in Supercell Japan because I know I looked up Supercell not too long ago, and I got some English band that probably started up not too long ago.
So it's not as quality as the other one.
Right. Now, back to the English music. Bullet for My Valentine, Tears Don't Fall. Now I know I might get a lot of crap for this.
Man, the thing about it is they're such a good emotional band, dude. Like the ways they are able to hit such lows, like, you know, songwriting wise, like not low as in like bad, but low as in like that feeling of being low.
Right. And then it's the fact that they also transition between, you know, soft parts, then they'll do like the scream, and then they'll go super fast, and then they'll bring it back with the chorus. You know what I'm saying? Like, they play around with it, and then their songs, they actually talk about something, you know?
Yeah, absolutely.
It might not be the super amazing message that everybody wants to hear, but it's good.
Yeah, it's based in realism in some ways.
Right, like, I liked Venom and You Want to Battle, which basically was about a family where the dad was kind of like, you know, abusive and whatnot. So then the mom and the daughter, you know, come back at him or whatever. And that was Venom. And then You Want to Battle was the second part, I believe. That or vice versa.
But the song you chose was...
Yeah, Tears Don't Fall, which you've had to have heard this one if you know who Bullit for My Valentine is, because it's probably one of their most played songs. But after that, Radiohead, Creep. Now, this, as Corey brought up again in a conversation earlier, this is their most hated song that they made, only because
they didn't like playing it.
Right.
Yeah.
And because of the what everybody brought with it, I guess. You know.
Yeah, because Tom York is one of those people who did not want to be incredibly famous, and this song came out, and it catapulted them to this level of stardom they didn't think was possible.
Yeah, but nonetheless, I like this song because it's a good song, but I just like to have fun with it. Like, the kind of song it is, I'll like,
I'll cry the lyrics.
I'll cry the lyrics. You know what I'm saying?
So fun.
You know?
Man, and that distortion part, dude, is my favorite part of that song. That
yeah, I mean, the way they do it is good. They're a good band. It's just they didn't like it.
Which me and him had a bro moment when we were like, Radiohead? You like Radiohead? I love Radiohead.
Yeah, like the first time we talked about it, I swear we sung like the whole song probably.
Probably.
Not earlier, just like the first time.
Well, it's because I'm a weirdo. What the hell am I doing here?
I'm a creep. I don't belong here.
Alright, anyway, then Jerry's last one.
I actually got 3 more.
Oh, 3 more. Sorry, my bad.
Yeah, I started kind of rambling about certain ones.
Oopsie.
For the last Japanese one, is a band called Seven. Now, it's 7...
Exclamation point.
It's backwards on the thing. I don't... There we go. All right. It's backwards to me.
He's probably gonna draw it on there later.
Yeah, it's probably backwards for you guys. How I just did it, like. There we go. Okay. But then it's the number 7 and then 2 exclamation points. And the song is called Sweet Drive. Now they're more soft, but this song Sweet Drive, the video is basically they're driving in their band van. And they're just driving out, and then just huge pasture, like this overlook of a hill comes, and they just go out there, and they're just jumping around while music's playing. So all the songs I've heard from them, they're not like heavy or nothing like that, but they're all like very energized. Their band is always jumping around, except for one song, and that's because they were trying to do an actual like emotional song.
Oh, ballad? Like a slower one?
Yeah,
okay.
More or less. I think it was like a romantic song type thing. But pretty much they're a very energetic band, and I think they're worth to check out because even people who from like that like heavier music, they found them and they're like, oh, I could listen to this. Usually I don't like this kind, but they're very high in energy, so I could do it. So it's not bad to check out.
It's all about that energy.
Right, and these last 2 kind of tie in, and I'll explain why. 30 Seconds to Mars, A Beautiful Lie. Now, if you find the right video, it starts off talking about, you know, other countries where there's starving children or disasters happening and whatnot. And then, you know, you get the dude, he comes in and he's singing, and they're out in the ice caps and stuff. And during the video, you know, A Beautiful Lie is basically what you know and what's really going on behind the scenes. It's so much more than you think. Like, okay, what we know is like, oh, global warming, this and that. But at the end of the video, he goes on, he starts talking about like what's happening, you know, out there in the polar, in the icebergs melting and stuff like that. Yeah. And nobody's telling us. So we think everything's fine, and really everything around us is going to hell.
Yeah, which Jerry is one of those people who like to be aware of what's going on. So I can see why he likes to message that song because, yeah, like, life can be considered a beautiful lie. Like, there's all this bad things going on, but we don't want to fess up to it or really stare directly at it. So.
Right. Which leads into this next song by a band called 6 a.m. It's 2 X's. 6 a.m.
Which actually happens to be Motley Crue's bassist, Nikki Sixx. He made a band after Motley Crue disbanded, and I didn't know that until I looked it up.
Possibly. We haven't confirmed yet.
I haven't confirmed it, but I'm pretty sure 6 a.m. is his band. But anyway, start, Jerry.
So the song is called Life is Beautiful, which basically what it does is it takes, it pretty much is like, look, you gotta hit the bad stuff in order to get to the good stuff. So basically one of the ones is you gotta learn to lie before you learn to tell the truth, which is kind of true. So you gotta learn how to lie to then know that, oh, this is wrong, and then now you know how to tell the truth because you know what lying does. Same thing, you gotta live, or you gotta live before you learn to die, or something like that, to that effect. So you have to learn the bad in order to get to the good. And just like 30 seconds, a beautiful lie is because people want to, the bad, what we see is not even really the problem. The problem is a much bigger scale, but what we think is a problem is I need 3 pillows to sleep to elevate my neck, and I only have 1.5.
So that's like a huge issue, as opposed to all the other things that are going on around us.
Yeah, and, to us, a problem is I gotta walk down the street. I walk everywhere. It's like, that's a problem for me.
Yeah, it's just like things that are
get a job. You know what I'm saying?
Minor inconveniences seems to be like huge conflicts for people.
Right.
Yeah.
Which, in this song, and I feel like this song I can understand. I listened to this a long time ago, but I will always remember because I feel like that's what I went through. Like, I had to learn a lot of the downs in order to now have this positive outlook on a lot of things. And I'm still growing as a person. Like Corey said, I'm only 23, but at the same time, just to have all the realization that I do, especially at the age that I am, feels great, because there's a lot of things that I could just brush off that should piss me off, just like it does a lot of other people that go through it.
And to have that in a soundtrack is important, because it's one of those things that just keeps you motivated. So yeah, I mean, that's actually a pretty good choice, I would say, definitely.
Yeah, because he even says in the song, he's like, he's basically like, nobody better cry at my funeral. You know what I'm saying? He's like telling you, dude, why are you gonna cry at your funeral? You know what I'm saying? Why? Life is beautiful, man. You gotta, if you learn how to do this and you got to this point, then why are you crying? You know that I was like that, man. I was happy, and I'm gone. Well, guess what? Now it's your turn. You know what I'm saying? So it's a good message. So if you haven't, heard it, definitely check it out. You could probably take something else from the song. And as well, we want at least one song. Or 2 songs. 1 or 2 songs, your choice.
Yeah. Give us some things to listen to, because you can give us the emotional story behind it. You can give us the reason why you like it. Maybe it's the instruments, and maybe it's the message. But either way, we want to hear from you guys music that you want us to just consume. That's a tasty riff.
Oh yeah.
Well, guys, hopefully we didn't take too much of your time. I hope to do more music discussions, because I feel like I love it, and so does he, and so do you guys, hopefully. So, again, thank you guys so much for this discussion. And
the support.
We're promotions. We're going to do way, way more. We hope to do more interactions with you. And, of course, don't forget to make them number 2. See you guys in the next video.